Hello, Serge here from the back porch. I have a question here from T-on13, and that's Philip. And Philip says, Mr. Serge, I have applied the SSGS swing the past 3 months in wonderful Chicago weather. I'm sure he's joking about that. Irons and hybrids are fine. See, there we go. Another comment about irons and hybrids are working well. Shorter, easier to hit, more loft. Everything is designed to be more like an iron. You get better results with it. Still struggling with consistency with the driver. He was fitted by Doc, that's Dr. Griffin, Lynn Griffin. 12-degree driver, 42.5 inches. See, there we go, a little bit shorter. Right flex. No more severe duck hooks, so he helped that. But he does say too many lefts requiring chip outs, resulting in more bogeys than pars. Raising scores from mid-80s to low 90s is not fun. When I do it right, I'm well out there in the short grass. Besides 2 eyes of stance, any thoughts? And he's also thanking Sergites, pretty much hoping that I guess they're going to give some answers too and help him out. But yes, there could be some issues. The first one could definitely be alignment. As we always know, that's the first thing we look at. And then if you're aiming a little bit too far to the right, meaning right now I'm pretty much set up with these lines to be swinging towards the camera. If I'm lined up like this, I have to pull it a little bit, all right, to bring it back. Now, when you shorten your driver up, it makes it easy to get through and swing back up into the finish, would cut out and being shorter, you don't have to work so hard to pull it back down around you, which would cause a big reverse weight shift. So very likely you're able to stay better, a little bit more in place and stable, and just pull it a little bit rather than hitting duck hooks. So I think alignment could be an issue. Naturally, longer clubs are harder to swing and tougher to control. So as I said, it could cause you to reverse weight shift, which could cause the worst shots. But again, where's the start? The longer are the pulls still coming from? Could be ball position could be too far forward, which many cases that happens when we aim into for a right-hander to the right or lefty to the left. You have to move the ball forward to help you be able to pull it back and get it back towards the target. So you could be ball position. And another one would be that because again you're aiming to the right, the tendency is to start the shoulders first and come through. And now that the club is shorter, and if you're still starting it first, and the ball could be going, that could be a big part of your pulls, especially if you're still aimed to the right. But as you thank the Sergites, the reason why is because they did respond. And I'm going to talk about one that and read one here that came in reply to you. And this is from Robert F. And he says, check that you're not letting your shoulders and hips get misaligned. There's been a bit of discussion about that the last couple of days, and I know it often causes me to yank a shot left when my shoulders get open at address. So I've already discussed the fact that could be a problem of alignment, but when I was discussing, I was talking about even feet being aimed to the right. Many times we might get our feet correct, but one of the things that happens in the Serge setup is when we get into that what I call the master setup position, where the right arm is folded under a little bit, so that from this position, as you can see, it's lower, that everything can come back and lift straight up and my arms are equal. Most people are playing golf with the back arm higher than the forward arm, which causes the club to come back shut, slightly outside, and then you have to flip it inside more when you finally try to make it go up, but it can get inside and heavy. The other issue with an inside that it causes is that if you do it too much, you can get the shoulders very shut. As you can see, they're shut here. And so if I swing, even though my feet are square, as you can see to the line here, if my shoulders are shut and I take the club straight back, I'm missing the mitt by quite a bit. The mitt should be over here and I'm over here. So technically, even if I take it basically straight back, in other words, if I was starting here, the club is in the mitt just slightly inside the aiming line. As soon as I go like this, it's way back in here. It's inside the sacred burial ground. And if I just swing straight up and make a good swing straight down, the ball's going to go dead right. So we have to start making some type of adjustments, whether that be flip it more at impact, which will really cause duck hooks because the club's going to be shutting down big time. It's going to cause those low pulls and low duck hooks. And or I just reverse weight shift a little bit, or I stop my shoulders a little ahead, and those will hit the ball to the left. So there's a bunch of the options there. And again, why can it be happening with the driver, even though you have a shorter driver in this case? because it's still the driver. It's longer and it's got a flatter face, so when you make miss hits, they're going to go farther offline, and being longer, it's going to activate and still activate and trigger the upper body to be more active in the swing, which in many cases will mean it's going to very likely start ahead. So Robert F. was right on track about checking your shoulder alignment out, because sometimes what I always tell folks is, you know, if you hit a bad shot, put the club down and check it, and you get behind your leg and say, oh, my feet are good. But don't forget your hips and shoulders. That's critical, especially if it gets you to overdoing the master setup position and getting it where you put it down. But when we put it down, the shoulders have to stay square. We don't let it pull us out. And sometimes preloaded heavy right will do that. When you're trying to get back preloaded heavy right, some people when they get back, they do this, or they push their hips out and the shoulders and hips get forward, and aiming to the right for righty, left for lefty. So we need to check these setups. Good alignment is toes, knees, hips, shoulders, and eyes are all parallel left to the aiming line. Okay? So check those out and make sure that that's all correct, as well as your ball position, and those, you should start clearing up that issue. Okay? So for Tee on 13 and all of you that are still having those pulls and even blocks, or sometimes a pull and then sometimes a block, always go back to checking your alignment, ball position, and all those other things. Checking your fundamentals, because the setup determines the motion. Well, that's it for the search today, and I'll be talking to y'all again soon.